Hi everyone, you're watching John FX, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. As usual, have a look at main pairs, important levels, and possible entry points. I'll share with you where I will be looking to place my pending orders, buy and sell. And we're starting with euro dollar as usual. So this is we will have a look at what happened, right? What expectation was from the previous week, and my analysis I was making, we were standing here, and I told you that I see more chances euro dollar continue the way up, finishing an uptrend in our little bit of the uptrend channel and reaching the price 120. So exactly what happened, it went there and had a bit of consolidation, and then it's fall and right back to a previous level again. So it's still inside the little bit of the uptrend channel, but remember guys, we still have this very big channel, the blue lines you can see here, and it does look like it needs a bit of a correction net, right? So if we're in the big inside trend channel, uptrend, so that's the expectation is it will consolidate and then fall, started to have a bit of a correction, right? So that's why even though we actually got right to the end of this channel, right to the bottom of this channel, and it has to be has been moving already here for a while, I would not exclude that it might be a breaking point and euro dollar would finally start to break and have a bit of a correction, right? Go down to, let's say, next our area roughly is about 169.05. So at this moment, so we had this correction, and well, we still have only September, right? And dollar it's still kind of weak, but okay, this week it was a little bit stronger, and we have the situation with coronaviruses, remember, and also this week there will be more Brexit talks, right? So there could be all these influences on European pairs, euro, pound also, right? So that's why in here, at this moment, yes, it looks like creating a double bottom, and but like I'm saying, I still see the possibility of this will not continue the way up as we are expecting, because it has been so long in this area. So that's why, let's say at this moment, I would just think, okay, technically looking, yes, I would say it might have a bit of a correction here, a consolidation, and then finally we started to move up, and then we'll continue the way up, we'll break 120 and go high, right? So we have this channel. But because it has been moving here for quite a while, so that's why I'm expecting still going down. So of course, what I'm going to do, go on a smaller time frames and see for the possible entry points. This week I was making also trades, and I was sending some screenshots in Telegram. It wasn't all week, but I have sent it during non-farm payroll. So and the all trades end up with profits. So, and as usual, guys, you can see it in Telegram, right? John FX. So pretty much in here, this is where the consolidation was previously before the non-farm happened. So that's exactly where I will be looking for the next consolidation. So if it will have small consolidation like it was here, then I'll probably placing the orders again both directions, because like I'm saying, there are more chances here where it can continue way up or might go down. Actually, remember guys, here when I was telling you that I expected continue the way up, I told you straight away. That's why I didn't send, for example, screenshots at the beginning of the week. I was telling you I'll be buying from here, and it's exactly what I did. I bought from this level. So, and in here, that's what I'm saying again, I'm looking at here, and if it will go back down, then I will be looking at this area, possibly, maybe it have some consolidation, or if it will break it and go next, and see maybe it will stop between these two levels, somewhere in the middle, and I will be looking for the next possible entry points. So from here, of course, if it will go up, then possibly see where it's going to again slow down, because it's a quite good distance again between the levels of our trend level and level where it stopped now. So you see in the middle, it might have a bit of slowing down, or maybe a little bit of whatever flag again, and then continue the way up to the next level, and then start to consolidate just like it was previously here. So you see, pretty much in the same area, we'll be looking for all of this first working in this area, and then of course if it go higher, we're looking around here. If it will go low, so it's all the same area. And of course, now you know where the bid start with, and of course, if I will see any opportunities and will be able to send you some screenshots, I will do so through my Telegram. So now we're going to pound dollar, and I think this week for pound would be a little bit more interesting news because of Brexit talks are going to be again this week, right? So I think the market will be quite attentive to that and might have a lot of reaction. So you have to be really careful. Probably better to trade with stops just in case it will run away, because at this moment they're still more talking towards no deal Brexit, but you never know what's going to happen. So pretty much, let's say if it is true and no deal is going to be in the air more towards that news this week, then of course I would see pound falling right from here, going down. And also technically it is right at a good moment where it is in a little bit of the uptrend channel, right? And so we would look for correction. So that's why it's a really good position at this moment to start to fall and well, continue the way down, well, at least like 128, something like according to this channel, right? So with the channel. So that's pretty much like I would be looking at the bigger picture. Just as again previous week as expected, I have been telling you that we might go up. It didn't reach though the top, the previous high, that one, so it didn't. I thought it will actually reach it, but it's actually turned around a little bit earlier, which I've been telling you about also, guys. When it goes to the tops or bottoms, it might be slightly below, slightly above, or in the middle. It's always just the area. So and that's what exactly is happening. You see, it jumped up first and then turned around. So yeah, that's the main picture, guys. So with all those news, if they are actually going to be more negative for pound, of course it will start to a little bit fall. Started to fall, yes. So what it did right now, so of course my possible entry points in here, well, let's just see on this one. We also have, remember, let's just do in 4-hour chart to be better view again. See here, we have the uptrend channel, and that's where it started. Remember the two tops where it started to go a little bit down. So right now, okay, yes, it's broke, just as one of the expectation was, right, and then fall. And then from here, quite with all those bad news, it might actually go back down here, and this could be at the moment, let's say, where it will start to consolidate and then continue down with a little bit of this, the first signs of the downtrend channel, downtrend was showing us. But before that, of course, it's a quite a big distance and some opportunities to go for trades. The possible entry points I will be looking at, starting here, you see I draw a bit of the channel with the movement this week. And so here's the area, first area, let's say if it will start to, well, I wouldn't say if it will consolidate like this, I wouldn't place the buy orders and I'll just place sell orders. If it will break this one and start to consolidate between these two, like in this quite wide channel, then it's quite possible to see a placing orders from this level up. But it could be quite like here, you see before the news event, it did exactly jumped out and then come back. So you need to be careful if it might jump out again, like a fool everyone, and then turn around and have a good fall. So that's why it needs to be quite careful, and then we will see. At this moment, it just returned into this area before the news happened. Yeah, I think it will start to consolidate. Quite possible, again, it might just get the moment because the dollar is still not on a strong side, let's say, and it might still have a bit of the movement up before actually there is something come out with Brexit, right? So that's why I'm not excluding if it will start to consolidate in here in this area, it might continue the way to the next level and then start consolidation. And if there will be bad news, then from here it might start to fall. So that's why all of this my levels where I will be looking for all of those different consolidations and possible placing of trading orders. So now we're going to dollar yen. Dollar yen is it's a 4-hour chart, right? Yeah, so it's from here, you see from the previous week, it didn't consolidate, didn't fall, and just started to turn around. It was just like sitting, it's pretty much doing nothing. And I would just, I mean, okay, it's in a little bit an uptrend and it's returned into this channel. So of course, then I would be just looking at here. If it will start to consolidate in this area, that would be my first possible entry, placing the orders, entry point. So I would be looking to buy from here and go to the next level, and from here sell and go down. Well, possibly to this level or maybe a little bit higher, you see, because it didn't reach the the bottom last time, so so maybe a little bit higher, or I would presume still about something like this. So probably go back down here. It's quite like, you know, the big channel here, you see it's right now still in the downtrend channel, right? In here it started to accumulate quite a lot of energy, I would say, and that's why from here it might actually have a nice move, maybe even like smash that level and go up, and then we will see, will it break this level of this downtrend channel, or it's actually will be trying to go up. I don't expect such big moves, like I'm saying, so maybe it will just have a little movement, because you see dollar is still not on a strong path. I mean, even for yen, the Japanese yen, there were like not very good news, like the minister left or something like that, and still dollar didn't get strong against yen. So that's why obviously dollar is still not as strong, and that's why I wouldn't expect a possible breakout outside of this channel like that soon. So it might still have a bit of sitting in this area, maybe trying to break down again, maybe even go to this level. I don't think it would want to have much more movements too low. Well, I guess depends if there is something unusual. So that's why I would just expect a possible still being in this area a little bit before there is something else, like, you know, better news for dollar. So that's why, yeah, that's the first entry point, and we will see if it will go here, slow down here, we'll start to consolidate even more here, or even more, and then I just like would wait. If it will start to be too much, then I'll just leave it and wait for a little bit more better areas to go for. So at this moment, this is just that area. So Australian dollar also did exactly as expected. From here, you see it's reached the price area, and 0.74, just as I was pointing you out last week. It didn't go further because I told you there will be some news, and I wouldn't want to make too much movements and jump out too far. So it's fallen now. You see, guys, it's quite in the middle again of this uptrend channel. So it stopped here, and it's quite also pretty much, it's either can continue the way up inside this channel, or might continue the way down, because it is in a, let's say, corrective move from this uptrend. And so from here, it's quite easily can continue the way down. Of course, I would be first looking and thinking it should continue the way down just to finish that movement inside the channel. But because it's actually jumped out first here, then quite easily, that's why it might start to go from here up and try to even go a little bit further. So let's just see once again on the bigger time frame what we have the picture, where else further it can go, if it will continue. Let's say if it will go way up, well, above this, and then just it could be anywhere, because you see before in here it was sitting here for a while in that area. So it jumped up and down in quite a wide area. So if it will try to break, so it might just sit in here, will do exactly the same, or maybe like a little bit lower this area, because you see it didn't break just like previously. So that's why from here it might just like stay in here until there is something else come out, because it's a good big up move and it didn't have any good correction. That's why pretty much more I would see towards doing something like this, like go a little bit for correction, consolidation maybe in the flat for a while, and then pretty much quite possible some other news will move it up, or more it might consolidate even higher, and then, you know, like the good news for American dollar, and afterwards the election, and then it might actually fall. Australian would fall, right? Well, it would have to happen, but you see where it will happen more. Will it still go further, or actually consolidate and then have a correction? Because it does need a correction, so it might start to have a correction before the dollar will get a bit more stronger. So that's why for now it's quite a little bit rough moves, I would say. So that's why I would like to see on the smaller charts. I had orders here before the news events, but when non-farm happened, not much movement happened, and I just cancelled it. And you see pretty much it just jumped down a little bit when it returned up. So we will see where it will start to consolidate. Like I said, we need a good distance between two levels. So somewhere around here, not a big channel, you see, then it would be enough to go, let's say, again to the bottom here and further to reach the levels. Or if it will do here, it's a good distance to go to the next level. So that's the first area to look at the possible entry points. And then, of course, going to this level, we'll see consolidation, go to this level, see consolidation, and then, of course, whatever happens next. Euro pound, let's do on a bigger time frame. So the picture is pretty much as expected. Okay, no, maybe it's a little bit too much. Let's do 4-hour chart so we will see the week. Yeah, so we have a downtrend channel. And from here, it just started to consolidate here, just as expected, remember. And let's continue the way. Okay, didn't reach exactly the bottom, stopped here. So pretty much I would say now it will consolidate in here. If it will have a good consolidation, then quite possible to look for the entry points. So, and again, here it could be either way because of the Brexit news, could be something. Well, of course, there could be something for Euro, who knows, but I think the most would be Brexit negotiation talks, and I think that's more would be market concentrating. So, yeah, if it's like consolidation and good distance to one area, and of course good distance to the other area. Of course, if you would look in the downtrend channel, technically looking, it looks like it should continue the way up, but at the same time it didn't finish it. That's why it quite easily can go down first, give us, like, let's say, double bottom, finally reach the area, and then from that have a small consolidation, and from that have a movement up. That's a bit more technical, but of course the news will do its job. So dollar Canadian 4-hour chart, what happened in here? Again, as expected, from here we did reach 130. Just like I told you, it looked like it's going to that point, and then from here I was expecting some consolidation and going back up. So that's exactly what it did. So it had a jump out from this area. And I had some trades in here too, actually both buy and sell, all closed with profits. And so what is it now? Well, now it's still, you see, well, basically dollar should be a little bit stronger against Canadian dollar because oil has started to go up. We'll have a look at it. But it's not much of the influence, you see. Okay, so it's kind of stuck in here. And pretty much, like I'm saying, if the dollar continue to be weak, of course, dollar will continue falling against Canadian, but like I would say, maybe it will just start to sit, consolidate here for a while. You see, if consolidate here, maybe break to the next low of the pair where it was, low here, quite could be so around 129.48, maybe 129.0, but I wouldn't think so just yet. So that's why it might just stuck in here again before where is it here? You see, it's well, end of September. We still have September, October, November. Yeah, something is it's too long to wait for the election, so it might be, of course, some other movements. But right now, let's just go on a smaller time frame because, like I'm saying, it's really just moving right at the edge of the downtrend channel. So in here, let's say it's tried to, you know, have a bit of the movement up, but didn't have strength to break and go jump into this area. So it's a little bit fallen here, and I would wait for some consolidation in this little area. So you see, if it will have a nice little consolidation, then you see we have enough space to go back up. Even it's a bit too close, but possibly even further. And of course, to break it and go back down to 130, where it actually quite easily can give us a double bottom. So from here, 130, I would presume, expecting it possible, it will be trying to go back up again. So then we will see what kind of news are going to be there, of course. But yeah, that's why I would expect a possible consolidation and trying to go back up. And then maybe go back inside, or maybe if it's not very strong, then maybe it'll have a little bit of correction. And then we'll try to actually break down and go even further down. But like I'm saying, the oil prices might not, if they'll continue way down, oil, then it might not do fall as much, and then just start to have like a side again movement, a bit more flat. So now we're going to gold. And gold on the news was actually a roller coaster, and even though like on I was placing the orders, I sent the screenshots also, and it had a huge jump up, and the spread was huge and slipperish. Like, for example, I was supposed to go into the trade, and here it took me right at the edge, so it's like 60 pips movement. And then with recovery system, of course, it's all went down. Then it got me another trade, so I ended up with the actually profitable trade, and you can see the results also in Telegram. I sent a screenshot out there. So that's what pretty much you see the jumps ups. I mean, like I told you guys, I didn't expect too much from non-farm payroll. It was you see the movements on gold most, and the other pairs just a little bit. You see up down, not very much this time. This year's non-farm is not as good compared to more political news, right, and events. Yeah, let's see what actually we have. You see, for our chart, like I was telling you over here, I didn't see kind of where it wants to go, and exactly what's happened. It's like went just up a little bit, and you see it started to fall. And like I was telling you, with the COVID news, it's also mixed news. There are some like bad news, and also they were talking about this vaccine, and it's kind of like a bit of a mess right now. So that's why gold doesn't make yet a trend. There is no trend. You see, it's just a big. I mean, it could be a bit more like a triangle. I mean, here it's not easy to draw it because it's, you see, it jumped out from this triangle, and okay, it can do something like that. And see if it will still continue that way. You see, from here now, it might just break and go back up again. We can stop at this level once again, start to consolidate here, then jump up again a smaller, lower than this one, and go back again, or maybe actually break even further. So you see, guys, it's all with all of this news. Of course, there's some bad COVID news might push it more up, and at this moment, it's not breaking this level. So you see, we have these bottoms, and at the same time, it has that little bit of the downtrend. So all of this, let's go on a smaller chart and see where I would be looking at possible entry points. But like I'm saying, guys, with gold, you need to be really careful well, decide you want to go into those trades or not, because like I'm saying, the slipperage and big spreads are really killing it. So here we go. You see, that's the first possible entry point for me, guys. If the gold will consolidate in here, I presume, you see, we have enough space, like 100 and something pips, to go down into, let's say, stop by this level, or actually go get to the next support level here, 1910, roughly, from the previous bottom. And of course, if it will go up from here, that's what I'm saying. This is not a bad area on a smaller, to go for smaller ones. Like I said, I wouldn't go for anything like long term, because it's just so clear where it's going, up or down. And you see, here is about also 200 pips, so that's quite a not bad area to look for. And of course, then we'll see consolidation here, or we'll consolidate here, and then decide where to go for the next possible entry points. So now we're going to pound yen. Also pound yen on the 4-hour chart. In here, well, I was expecting it to just sit and consolidate in this area. Well, at the end of the week, it's exactly where it's ended up, but it had a jump up. So first it was trying to actually go in further. I presume it's more the news with yen, right? It was not good news for the yen at the beginning of the week, with resign of prime minister, I presume. So you see that's had a reaction, and then it's went back. And like I'm saying, this week is quite possible those news for pound. Well, that's my possible entry point. So if it will start to consolidate here, then I would be looking at placing orders, except I'm still a little bit more concerned to placing it more for sell. I still would think to look more into sell, because at this moment they're talking about a possible no deal. But you can see it's pretty much in the middle, stopped, right? One level and another level. It's been doing that for quite a while. Slightly in uptrend, but in the middle doesn't want to actually make a sharp move up or sharp move down. So pretty much, if there will be good news for the deal, it will move eventually up, but otherwise it go down. So at this moment, like on the picture, I can say it's trying to jump out from this area, but we had consolidation here before, and that's why I think it might just had this jump based on the news for yen, and might just from here still, I would see more towards going down and then consolidate in this range, or maybe even wide, just like it was previously, right? So maybe it will just sit in here before a little bit more certainty with deal or no deal. So at the same time, of course, it might would want to create a double top. It might would want to do so. So yeah, but until there is a little bit more of the news, I think still more towards consolidating here and actually still going a little bit down. So I would think it's more that way. It's also, if you look at it, I mean, it does look like a bit of shoulder and have a little bit of head, except here was also looking like shoulder and head, but end up another third move. So that's why, I mean, even looking that way, it still looks a little bit more going down. It also didn't have a good correction of this big move, so that's why it still would be more towards it way down, like I said, but still more like this level, and then we will see where it will go. So that's pretty much it, guys, and just like expected, again, oil started to fall. Remember, I told you we are accumulating energy here, and I didn't see any way why would it should continue the way up, because the COVID is still there. There are still not all the flights flying, and more cruises are cancelled, and I was right. So because like I told you guys, I'm not really much into the oil, what does exactly move it, but I was correct in this thinking that it should fall, because there is still no as much demand as it should be. And like I say, now we're going a little bit more towards autumn and winter, and if there will be more COVID cases and less again travels, like I said, already cruises are pretty much cancelled, I would think that oil should actually fall. That will be my thoughts, guys. I'm sharing with you just what I think, unless there is something happens again. I don't know, you know, we never know what can happen. I would still see it falling. I would also think that November, the president, like I'm telling you, the American president election, I think before that oil is going to fall, and only after election I have thoughts that there will be less news about COVID, and it will be better for, again, American economy will start to kind of process on recovery, and it started to be better for oil. I think so. That's why until November I would think I will not do anything with oil, and I would see it more fall. Where could it fall? I mean, again, it can just stuck in this area. Now as it fall a bit, it might just stuck in here between these two levels, and maybe try to break up. Maybe we'll try to break down further. Where I would look to buy? Well, guys, like I'm saying, I would probably look better closer to November. And then see where to buy. I would presume that I don't think it will fall all the way unless there will be complete again closure of all the borders, but they say they don't want to do that. That's why I think the oil might fall 34, and I would think maximum around this area 27. I don't expect, if it will drop to 19, I probably would be looking to buy, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the maximum it can go is that around this area, like 27 something, and here slightly higher, maybe slightly below, but not lower. I would be thinking more around this area. So maximum. So if it will do so, that's where I will be looking to buy. But like I said, a little bit closer to the election, so we will see. At this moment I'll just wait, still waiting. So that's my thoughts, guys, for the all the pairs for the coming week, and I hope you like the video. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, and happy trading, everyone. I see you next week. Bye.